going to present on it. Mayoukh, your mic is off, perhaps.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Is
good.
it
Yeah,
audible?
it's a visual and audible as well, so you can go on.
So just wait for a few seconds, sir. Wait.
Fine, good. Until then, just as Utsaha has written, explained, this is quite lengthy. He has done all his best incorporating, and in your writing, how can you make it more compact writing, just relating to the content, give illustrations from the topic or from the content as well. That's fine. And regarding its length, it is also quite appropriate. Let's see Mayukh's presentation as well. Yes,
So may I start?
please.
So is the question number two, which is the myth of Sisyphus.
Mm-hmm. Good.
The myth of Sisyphus is the story where the character named Sisyphus has to face the punishment where he has to carry rocks to the peak of the mountain, but that rock will fall. The interesting part is that he is happy while doing that task because he has because he created his own fate. He shaped his own destiny. He was happy because it was he who chose the punishment. And also he when he challenged the god, he won against the god because the god had only seen him smiling towards his punishment. The another thing is he became he became rational. He realized the rationality of his own of the world, which because the world is itself is irrationality and falls in the world of absurdity, in the world of absurdity. So we can say that there is also one more thing, that there is uh, he did not give into false hope, because if he had given into a false hope, he would have mental pressure, which would lead to some suicide, because false hope will always lead to suicides. He did not hope for anyone to save him, or anyone to rescue him from his punishment. So he kept on going while smiling. Lastly, but there is one more thing, that we can learn so many things from the character Sisyphus, which is when what to say, when Sisyphus himself have helped us to know that we can create our own destiny. We don't need anyone to create our own destiny. We can shape our own future. We can shape our own success. No one is no one is responsible for our success, but we alone are responsible for our success. And one thing is, while doing he also gave us a message that while doing a task, um, while doing a task, don't uh, don't while doing tasks, we need to forget about our consequences. We need to forget our success. We just need to focus on our tasks. So, and lastly, the Sisyphus has shown a lot amount of willpower. To do a task, he has shown a willpower. To stand against the god, he has shown a humongous willpower. That's it, sir.
Okay, and my question to you is, how has Camus or Camus described the fate? What, according to Camus, is the definition of fate.
According to Camus, if one's shape their own destiny,
Mm,
if one's shape their own destiny, their own future, their own success, people are responsible for their own future. Just for example, I'm responsible for my own future. No one is gonna help me to determine mm, who I am. So it is who I will determine my own future, my own success. We can give example of Bill Gates. Bill Gates was the one who shaped his own future, became the millionaire, sir.
that means the fate is a process
Yes,
rather than any destination.
yes, sir.
Always love and enjoy into the struggle that you have been doing, or you have been in the process. That itself, the process is the destiny. Destiny itself is the fate, and also enjoy it, entertain it, and be always positive and oriented to the struggle, or to the task we have to do. Like through Sisyphus, he enjoys this. He
Yes,
knows
sir.
this is the reality. He has to perform that anyway, or on any situation. He has to complete. He has to perform that task. He cannot avoid it. And also, he talks and he gives this suggestion of a struggle and process oriented, constructing the fate by the self, because as you said, self is the creator of the fate as well, nothing else and
So, and one
nobody
more thing,
else.
sir.
Yeah.
We need to be happy in every moment, just like Sisyphus is happy with his task. In every situation, we should remain happy because being happy also helps to calm the situation, terrible the situation, calm and happy and
Mhm.
satisfied.
Good. Enjoying whatever you enjoy, whatever you do,
Yes, sir.
and
And
do
focuses on
whatever you
willpower,
enjoy.
sir. There is also willpower, sir, of Sisyphus.
What according to him is the absurdity?
Absurdity is the world is full of irrationalization, sir. We tend to believe in false hopes, and that's what makes the absurdity of the world small. There are so many rational things that makes the world believe in absurdity, sir.
Great. Any question to Mayuk, Mohit, Amit, Pratham, Utsaha, Ekikrit, Prasanna, and any others? If any question, if you have to, Karishna, if any question to Mayuk, please do
No
ask the
question,
question
sir.
as well. Okay, now let's listen to, thank you very much, Mayuk. Let's listen to Kijen. And after
Yes, sir.
Kijen, who is going to present on? Kijen, you can start.
Okay, sir. May I start, sir?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to present on the allegory of cave, the question number one. So let me explain first the essay. In this essay, the essay is written by a Plato, who is also known as a Greek philosopher. In this essay, allegory of the cave, a play is an presented by a Greek philosopher Plato in his work Republic to Compare. In this essay, he has described five humans who are indicated as the prisoners who have not been step out from the cave. So let me go through my answers. Okay, sir.
Kijen, can you zoom it a little bit more?
Okay. Is it clear? My
Now
handwriting is
it's
small.
highly
Sorry.
visible, sir.
Okay, where there is a fire at the cast light on the opposite of the wall, and the prisoners can see the shadow moving, which are actually a puppets and consider them to be a real. One of the prisoner is set free, and when he steps outside, he gets to see the real thing, the real world, which makes him realize that whatever he has been seeing inside the cave is fake, are false. The reality of the world inspires him to go out and get his fellow prisoner as well as, however, when the prisoner returned, he turned blind because his eyes are not accuse him for a real sunlight and see his condition. His fellow prisoners assume that he will have to go through the same situation if they step out the cave. The prisoner's friend, the one who escaped out from the cave, came back to his friends and start to describe about the outside world. But his friends did not believe, but they tried to kill him to go against something rule. And when we, and according to the so the main answer is when we look closely, we can see the Plato philosopher is relatively because most of the time we fail to realize that what is truth. We fail to make changes in our lives and prefer a continuous doing things that we have been doing. The things so that each of us have own our perception regarding to reality. So that's what, and sorry. And it shows the relationship between education and truth for a Plato, that the essential function of an education is not to give us truth, but to disperse us towards the truth. But not all education need necessarily be about the truth. So the main theme of this essay is each of one has our own perception regarding to reality. Thank you, sir.
Okay, some questions we are expecting from to Kizen as well. Questioning is also very important. What is the definition of education?
In this essay, the word light or sunlight is referred as education and a knowledge. Uh, that education, I don't know how to explain it exactly. Uh, education.
Is education anything that you get from your schooling or from your lecturers or from reading those books or feeling and
Mhm.
just enlightening yourself, just raising your awareness?
So the education can be get through many ways. It can be either get from a book study school, or we can also get education through our personal experience by uh, analyzing the real world.
Good. Experiencing and feeling, making your feelings to something
Yes.
that is your individual perception, individual experience that shapes your education, that shapes um, your your knowledge as well. That's enlightenment. So in case
Enlightenment.
of the person, the prisoner, just he got this perception, he understood the reality, he just shared this perception with others. Also from there he got some information, some shared responsibilities after he got this. That's interesting.
Yes.
uh, yeah, any question to him?
Any questions? So I think no questions, sir. This
Please do
much.
ask question. There is questioning and then there will be discussion. That is interesting. If not, thank you very much. Thank you. And just
Yes, sir.
if you
You
have any
can stop.
question to yeah, you can stop. If you have any question to ask to your colleagues,
How was my presentation, guys? Was it effective?
Yes, it was quite
Yes, yes,
effective.
yes.
Thank you, thank you.
actually, it's not only for listening, and there is some discussion more. Just you shared something, and if they want to add something more on it, they can add on it, and if they can just ask some counter questions, raising some. If they are not satisfied with your statement, then also they can raise some questions. That's interesting part of the presentation. Okay, Erisna, can you uh, present on the topic? Erisna. Okay, after Ekikrit,
Okay, sir.
please.
Am I supposed to present now?
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
and the different on the different topic, then they have already presented on.
Since Mayoukh and Kijen presented on the two questions I did before this, I'm going to present on question number 5. The question asked us about the differences between bourgeois and proletarians, and also the history of how bourgeois and proletarians evolved um, into the current two classes. Here I mentioned that bourgeois and proletarians are the two exactly opposite classes existing in the same society. Bourgeois refer to the capitalists who own the means of production and most of the wealth in the society, meaning that they are the property owners and factory owners and other property owners. Proletariat refers to the wage earner group who do not own the means of production and must work as laborers in order to survive. That means that this class of the society does 9 to 5 jobs every day, and they do not own any means of production and do not contribute in the economy by producing, but by providing service of labor. Bourgeois are the ones that exploit proletarians and make massive profits, while the proletarians are the class that get exploited by the bourgeois and generally earn a minimum wage and live in poverty. As we also learn from economics, that the factory owners or the business owners always try to get the most out of their workers by giving them the minimum wage. That means exploiting the proletarians by giving them minimum wage and getting maximum profits from their work. Bourgeois and proletarians have evolved through the history of mankind with different names, but the condition of the oppressor and the oppressed has remained the same every time. By this, I mean that there have always been two classes. There have been many classes, but there are two major classes. Throughout the history of society, the classes can be also classified as the oppressing class and the oppressed class, which have now evolved into the bourgeois and the proletarians. The way that they have evolved, I have mentioned it below here. Class antagonism, as Marx refers to in his Communist Manifesto, has always existed since the ancient times. The modern bourgeois society has sprouted from the ruins of feudal society. The feudal society means the time where feudal lords used to have servants and slaves, and they used to be the oppressor, and the servants and slaves and the common men were the oppressed. The class conflicts were always similar, but the names and the classes were created anew. The feudal system of industry, which practiced monopoly, that in closed guilds, that means that feudal lords used to produce in a closed guild. Means they used to have a group of people who used to do different productions, and they used to rule the production sector through monopoly, as Marx mentioned, but we can also call it oligopoly, as we learned in economics. It was that closed group of industry was not enough for the growing needs as population grew rapidly. So the growing ones of the new market was not sufficed by that industry, and a new industry came in place. The middle class people pushed aside the feudal lords and created new industries. And as the market grew even more, the middle class industrialists became millionaires, and when global market came at hand, those millionaires became the bourgeois, and the proletarians remained the same since the feudal lords were pushed aside. And this is how history took place, and bourgeois and proletarians came into place through the abolishment of feudal society and globalization of market due to the increase in demand and development of industries. Thank you. Are there any
Thank
questions?
Thank you very much. Just don't stop sharing screen. Just share your screen again. Yeah, I'm asking your colleagues regarding the content. Just check it whether it is sufficient for 10 marks. He has included how many paragraphs?
I use small paragraphs, but you told 200 words, so I wrote about a little more than 200 words.
Good. So this is the required length, quite specific and detailed explanation on the topic as well. So how do you just you brought the concept here, marketing concept. How do you just related this to Karl Marx's theory? What is his concept regarding marketing concept? In
Karl
very simple
Marx,
language, can you explain it?
yes, sir. Karl Marx mentioned that the increase in the demand of the market as population grew created the new middle class manufacturists who pushed aside the feudal lords and created a market of their own, which later in turn, due to globalization of market, the middle class industrialists became millionaires and they are the bourgeois now.
Actually, this was written quite earlier, 100 to 100
Yes.
years ago, in Germany or the European context. Do you still see some implicability of this theory or this philosophy or Karl Marx's view, ideology, even in at the present postmodern era?
Yes, sir. I have mentioned here that in this way, the rich have become richer and the poor have become poorer. As the demand increases, more producers have to produce more, and they get more revenue, due to which they become richer, and the consumers have to spend more due to inflation, and they become poorer. And in the present context too, the bourgeois become richer and richer, and the proletarians remain the same or get poorer as time goes by. And in the current context too, the market is increasing just like as it was back then, or even
Mhm.
more. So the discrimination also takes place right now, because manufacturers want to give minimum wage to their employees to decrease the factor costs of production, and they want to increase their profits by decreasing their expenditures, due to which they get minimum wage. Proletarians get minimum wage and bourgeois get maximum profits.
Good. So it is said that 90% of the population have just 10% of property, and 10% of the remaining population in the world have 90% of their occupancy. So in that regard as well, we can see this economic disparity, economic vulnerability, somewhere economic marginalization, so many things. Uh, in Nepalese context, can you see any um, implicability of this theory, and what could you do? Suppose you were the high level bureaucrat in the Nepalese economy in the context of Nepal.
If in the context of Nepal, the land prices have increased highly, so the people who were rich back then have got their lands till this date, and those lands prices have gone very up. So they have gone richer, and the people who didn't have land back in the days, they had to resort to the service sector, or um, we can also call it 9 to 5 jobs. So if I'm in a high position in the government, I would try to abolish the system where we get our parents' inheritance to
Good.
balance the
Uh,
society.
Great. So, because mostly in suppose you apply or somewhere you asked, this is asked. This is an ideal theory, and you will be asked not what, but you will be asked some questions related. How will you be applying this in your context, or if you were suppose in that way, we have to prepare for this. Thank you very much. Any question to Ekikrit from anyone, please? Mohit. You are always silent. You are regular in the classes. Mohit, can you just unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Can you have any? Do you have any question to Ekikrit on his presentation?
What do you think we can change for the poorers to become rich?
Just like Karl Marx mentioned in his Communist Manifesto in 10 points, we can provide free education to people up until higher level of educations, and we can also abolish the inheritance system through which the poor can thrive in the service sector and get richer uh, due to the free education that the government provides, and the rich have to also work hard to maintain their richness, as inheritance system will be abolished. And other 10 points that Karl Marx has mentioned, we can also apply them. The main 2 points would be abolishment of inheritance and provision of free education.
Great. Actually, provision of free education, free health sector. This is really very an ideal concept, like ideal state of Plato. But regarding its implicability in the police context, it is quite challenging as well. Not difficult, but not impossible, but quite challenging because of privatization, because of capitalistic nature of economy, and so on, so many other factors as well. So let me sorry, hey, Anupama, do you have any question to him? Especially girls are quite afraid of posting their questions or raising their voice, and think that this when the discussion goes on, your marks will be. I'm focusing on your presentation time and again on various topics. So just present on those topics. Don't be afraid of this. Let's listen to Ujjal. Any question? Ujjal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Anupama, yes. Any question to him?
No, sir.
Okay. Karishma, can you just share your screen if you are not able to present on the topic? Karishma, if you are joining us, please do respond. Anupama, can you share your screen if you are not going to present on the topic? Yes, thank you. So Arisna is going to present her screen, and so you can just read out or you can just look at the content. Who next? We'll have one more presentation before Arisna. Prasanna, Pratham,
Yes,
Mohit,
sir.
can you?
I will do.
Are you going to?
Yes, sir.
Pratham, good. Yeah, you can start sharing your screen.
My screen is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visual.
Okay. So I will be presenting in the question number 3. In the story The Drought, the author Ian Raby suggests that the house being constructed will be ultimately becomes the white man's tomb. In the story, there are two people. One is the white man and the other is black man. They both built a house. The black man carries the bricks and passes it to the white man, while the white man places the rocks or the bricks, sorry, and builds the floor wall and the roof. The white man does not keep any door or window in the house, not uh, saying to protect from the big water, which may refer to flood or tsunami. But the real intention was of the white man to keep the black man away from his house. So, as there is no door or window in the house, the white man won't be able to come out of the house, hence referring as being the white man's tomb. Uh, Now, moving to the second paragraph, we have the perception about both men. The white man thinks that the black man is darkness or not good or fit for the society. they cannot maintain peace, says the white man. White man also says that the God cursed the black man with darkness, whereas the black man thinks that as God is white, so white man should also must be good as a God and pure. Thank you.
That much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, my question to you is, what is the relevance of the context, the setting of the story?
Excuse me, sir.
What is the concept of relevance? What is the relevance of the context?
Uh, it is that we should not do anything bad to other people, and otherwise we will be in the trouble.
Uh, well, you have been disturbed by some of your friends. They have messaged you. Okay. Um, I mean, my question is, Ujjal, can you mute yourself? You are unmuted. Okay, thank you. So my question to you is, what is the setting of the story? Scene and setting of the story.
Scene and setting meaning, sir, I didn't understood.
Like the title of the story is Drought. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Does it have any relevance, any meaning with the overall content of the story?
Uh, uh, it has some relevance to the story, as the house is being built in the place where there is no sign of any rainfall or drought, or in that place there is a drought.
There is physical drought and there is spiritual drought or mentality. There is no peace, and there is always disturbance, or they are not feeling well to each other. There is still drought in their mentality. That's the topic. Drought is itself conveys overall overall meaning. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And regarding the scene and setting, African context. So African context, that very this they are expecting to rain. There would be rain, but there is no more rain at all. So that rain refers to here some comfort, and that brings some positivity in their lives. But still, there is no hope for any rain. This is only their wish. So they are wishing. This wish means may not be complete, may not be fulfilled. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So yes, Erisna, are you going to share your screen? Thank you very much, Pratham. And any question to him, please do post on the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and do ask him. Erisna, are you there? Yes. Can you now share it? We have 3 minutes left. Amit, Anshu.
Yes, sir. In that essay, the house, it's elaborated that the house does not have a door and a windows because that house represents a country where the untouchables are thrown outside and the ones are inside.
The borders are closed. They were
Great.
Borders are-
Confinement. That symbolizes the confinement. If there is no house, means you cannot view outside world. You are confined in the inner world, or you are just in the cave. You are there. Tom does not have its house. Sorry, its windows and doors. Similarly, that's the self destruction. The space is self destruction that has been created, and as we see, the white man has given more priority in making that house. So he says, do it fast, make it fast, construct it fast. So he has led his own destruction. Do you mean the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as we said, the house refers to the symbolizes the tomb here, which does not have its
But the house also symbolizes the border. Uh,
yeah, that's a border bar as well. That's a border between that has separated white and black. but there occurs no disturbance, though very temporary disturbance or time that disturbance does not occur to the black one for permanently. That has led to the life of the white. That border has created, the bar has created that interfered the relation between white and the black as well. That is another meaning of the of the wall or of the house, where there is no any space for the black one. While constructing, both are involved, but uh, when the house was ready, inside it only there is the ruling, the observing, from the observing part, there was only the part of responsibility of white men, and black one was only involved in constructing that one, in his uh, labor only. Okay. So finally, thank you very much, Anshu, and for your great concern and question. Arisna, we are still expecting from your screen, sharing your screen. Can you just unmute yourself? Okay, the remainings, please do prepare for your Chitij, Amit, and Mohit, Prasanna, and many more. Like, thank you, those who have presented on your writing. And from this, I will also go through the writing length of content of the questions, but I found some of the contents are not sufficient. Though they have written for around 80 or 100 words, 80 words around, that is not quite sufficient. You need to read more. You are reading basis your writing as well. So you can just write more only if you have greater explanation, comprehending of the text in detail. That is what is expected from you at this level. If we write only for our +2 level, that may not be quite sufficient, quite appropriate for the level as well. Is there any question from anyone? So thank you very much. And I hope, is there holiday tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the calendar, there's a holiday.
There is, okay. So yeah, those who have not presented on this, please you try for your presentation on for other classes as well. So see you on Friday. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.